live, so if you give us about 2 more minutes, we will be ready. Mr. Redmond and Daniel back there, they'll give me a thumbs up when they're ready.
How you spell what?
All right.
Oh,
Sound good?
okay. So you're right. Oh, okay. I wonder.
Ready?
Oh, that's fine.
Y'all ready to
Oh,
my
is that
right?
mine?
Yeah.
Ready to my left?
Yes.
Kay Robinson, are you ready online?
I am.
All right. This time we call the meeting, Weldon City School Board of Education to order at the time of 7:37 p.m. Ask that each one of you would join us in reading our mission statement at this time. Let us read together. The mission of Weldon City School Board is to create and maintain an education system in which every student receives the highest quality education. School employees and parents work together to prepare students to become caring, competent, and responsible citizens. That education is a
Lifelong process.
Thank you so much. Board members, ask if you would take the opportunity to review your agenda. Please share if there are any additions or deletions that need to be made to our agenda for tonight's meeting.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I would add transition of superintendent.
Transition,
Yeah.
okay. Is there a particular place that you want to put that for? No
No, sir, I
particular.
don't care where it goes.
All right.
And the next one,
Hold on 1 second, if you would, Mr. Williams. Can we?
Is that an action item or an information item?
it's information.
Okay.
Okay. Can we put that? Can we put that after the public forum?
It's 8A.
Yeah, that's fine. 8A. Let's make that, you said transition.
Yes, sir.
Superintendent.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the other would be finance checks.
Finance checks.
Right.
Okay.
Or checks from the finance department.
Okay. We can make that as B.
All right.
If you want to 8B, we can just roll with it.
All right.
All right. Anything else?
We need to add closed session to the end of this agenda.
All right. So we will. Can we just, since we're gonna go back into closed session, can we just make that, put that there?
Yeah, I would make that 10, substitute the current 10 for that, and then make action from closed session 10A or 11 or whatever.
Okay, all right. So we can say that again, Ms. Kay Robinson.
We
So
wanna-
just, go ahead.
Mhm. Go on, Attorney Malone.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so she wants to add a closed session at the end, so you can make that number 10,
Okay,
and then take the current number 10 and make that 10A.
gotcha.
Thank you.
So it's like return to closed session.
So, yeah, we're gonna return to closed session. and come out and do the personnel stuff that we did. I'll take it.
Anything else? All right, a motion would be in order to approve our agenda as we have added 8A, 8B, 10, and 10A.
Make motion that we approve the agenda with the necessary changes.
Second.
Motion has been moved and properly seconded that we accept and approve our our agenda for tonight as it has been duly notated with the additions. You heard that motion. Is there any unreadiness? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voice vote? Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Jenkins? O.D. Sykes, aye. Ms. Hale?
Aye.
Ms. K. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Bird Robinson?
Aye.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Let the record reflect that we have unanimously approved our agenda with the noted additions. All right, at this time, we'll ask if Ms. Kimberly Robinson would share with us our thought for the evening.
As Weldon City Schools turns the page to a new chapter with a new superintendent, new employees, and new students, we want to embrace the changes that will be coming into our system. We want to be positive and productive to increase school enrollment, increase test scores, increase our employee retention, and our community involvement. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Barack Obama. Good evening, Weldon City Schools.
Thank you so much, Ms. K. Robinson, for sharing our thought for the evening. We hope that each and every one of us paid close attention to that quote and the other encouraging words that Ms. Robinson gave to each one of us. At this time, we will ask this board to prepare to approve the minutes from our May open session meeting. Has everyone received their minutes? All right. A motion would be in order to approve our minutes from our May open session board meeting.
I make the motion that we approve the regular board meeting minutes from 5/20.
Second.
Thank you so much. Motion has been moved and properly second that we approve the minutes from our May 20th open session board meeting. You've heard that motion. Is there any unreadiness or further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voice vote? Ms. K. Robinson,
Aye.
Ms. Hale,
Aye.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Bird Robinson, Ms. Jenkins, Ms. Harrison,
Yes.
O.D. Sykes, aye. That the record reflect unanimous approval of our May 20th open session minutes. This time we will go into our reports and we'll ask if Dr. Congleton will prepare to share at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, board members, employees, parents, and the Charger family. It is my pleasure to share with you my June superintendent's report. First and foremost, I want to extend my congratulations to Dr. Michael Myrick, the recently appointed new superintendent for Weldon City Schools. Dr. Myrick will take the reins of leadership for this school system starting July 1, 2021. Dr. Myrick, I truly believe that you will do an excellent job for this school district. I encourage everyone within this school district and this community to fully support Dr. Myers' commitment and upcoming efforts to move this school district forward. I want to thank the school board and the school district in general for the support that I have been given as your interim superintendent. It has been a long, hard 16 months filled with challenges, controversy, and new roads that have never been traveled before. But with the cooperation and collaboration of all parties involved, including students, staff, community, and school board members, we have met most of these challenges head on and have come out on the other side stronger and more determined than ever. Congratulations to both RVEC and Weldon High School for successful graduation conducted on May 27th, and also the Weldon Middle School promotion ceremony conducted on May 28th. All three of these events were done very well and showcased our outstanding Weldon graduates in a very positive way. Congratulations to all of the graduates and promotees, as well as the teachers, administration, staff, community, and parents that worked so tirelessly to make this possible. I know that I speak for the entire Weldon City Schools staff when I say thank you to the school board for supporting our efforts to procure the one-time supplements for all employees, including full-time, part-time, certified, and classified staff for the 2021 school year. The bonus was written into our Eso grant and met all required approvals prior to distribution. This was a most appreciated and well-deserved bonus that was awarded to our employees as a small compensation for all of the extra work, time, effort, and hazards that our employees endured during the COVID-19 crisis. Thank you, employees, and thank you, school board, for supporting our efforts and the bonus initiative. Again, this is my final full week as your interim superintendent. I have worked very hard to try to make a positive difference during my 16 months tenure here. I have had the unique experience and opportunity to serve this district twice in this capacity as superintendent. The first time as a bright-eyed rookie, and the second time as a gracious, grateful, and experienced veteran. Each opportunity was challenging and demanding, but also extremely rewarding. Thanks to the Weldon City Schools family and staff and the Weldon community at large for your gracious acceptance of my return and the support that you have shown. I ask that you extend this same courtesy to the new superintendent, Dr. Michael Myers. I have served in many districts across 2 states, but my heart has been and will continue to be with Weldon City Schools. Thank you so much, and may God bless each of you.
Thank you, Dr. Collington, for your report. I'm going to be as brief as I possibly can tonight in sharing with us. Let me ditto part of what Dr. Collington has shared in saying that we extend high congratulations to our recent graduates, and we know that they're taking breaks for the summer, but they are going into their own career paths and bettering themselves educationally or whatever route they have chosen to take. We are grateful that Weldon City Schools has had an impact upon their lives, and the parents and families were so gracious to have their children, their students here with us. And it has certainly been our joy and our aim to try to do the very best for our students that we possibly can. Also, we want to say to our employees and staff members, we do hope that you were very, very happy last week when you received those bonus checks. And this board said to Dr. Collington, we wanted to make sure when those ESSA funds came that we could do something that would be of great benefit to our employees. And we know that you appreciate that, but please know that this board was thinking about you. This board had you in our hearts and on our mind. We know that it has been a trying time over the course of this last school year, and we wanted to do the very best that we could to show you how much we appreciate you and the efforts that you give to our school district. As we prepare and plan to go into our 2021-2022 school year, let us go full of vigor, full of enthusiasm, and certainly full of optimism, as we know that we have some good days ahead of us here in Weldon City Schools. Also, I want you to join me tonight, this board and our community that is here with us. If we could, and I say this with great respect, because Dr. Congleton is retired from North Carolina. He's retired from Virginia. And he partially came out of retirement to help Weldon City Schools in a time of need. So if you're able to, let us just show Dr. Congleton that we appreciate, and let's just give him a great round of applause and thank him. We do thank him. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I learned a long time ago, and my father and my mother taught me that people don't have to be kind. And when they are kind, they don't have to be kind to you. And Dr. Congleton, in spite of what we were facing, he was kind enough to assist us in our time of need. And by no means will I tell you that Dr. Congleton and myself, that we have always agreed, because we haven't. But one thing I can say about Dr. Congleton, and I know he can say about me, we always learn how to come to a happy median in the road. And just because I didn't agree or he didn't agree, we didn't get mad, we didn't fall out, we didn't split, because we knew we were on this ship together. And in order to make sure that Weldon City Schools was better, we had to remain together. And so, Dr. Congleton, I want to say to you, thank you, sir, so much for your knowledge and 40 plus years of expertise that you have in education. And thank you so much just for being with us. And thank you for serving alongside me and me serving alongside you. It has certainly been a joy. And we know June 30th, past will go into a different direction, but we do remain friends. We do remain persons that are certainly vested and interested in education. And it has been said, once an educator, always an educator. So we thank you so much for that. And board members, thank you as we have worked with Dr. Congleton in this interim capacity. And I'm just so appreciative and thankful that we had this time to share together. And we are a stronger bond, and we are a more cohesive unit as a result of having this time together. So again, Dr. Congleton, thank you so much. And to our staff and our supporters in the community, thank you so much for being vested in Weldon City Schools. And thank you for working with us. As Dr. Congleton said, we had a difficult school year trying to navigate through things that we've never experienced before. And we are just so thankful and appreciative to Dr. Congleton, our teachers, our staff, bus drivers, cafeteria workers, our parents, and our students for holding on and sticking in there together. Thank you so very, very much. At this time, we're going to move forward with our monthly financial reports from the month of May. I think Ms. Boyd is all right. Good evening.
Revenue $933,121.45. Month-to-date, $83,781. Year-to-date, $1,016,902.55. Expenditures beginning balance, $857,699.60. Total expenditures for the month, $48,875.17. Year-to-date, $906,574.77. Net result for the year, $110,327.78. Unobligated fund balance, $491,193.65. Current expense fund two, revenues beginning balance, $2,030,315.54. Total monthly deposit, month-to-date, $97,637.95. Year-to-date, $2,127,953.49. Expenditures beginning balance, $1,334,894.83. Total expenses for the month-to-date, $198,157.64. Year-to-date, $1,533,052.47. Net result for the year, $594,901.02. Unobligated fund balance, year-to-date, $1,369,188.02. Capital outlay expense fund, revenues beginning balance, $301,159.10. Total month deposit, month-to-date, $10,133.22. Year-to-date, $311,292.30. Expenditures beginning balance, $141,669.68. Total expenditure for the month-to-date, $8,521.67. Net result for the year, $161,099.97. $615,479.97. Child nutrition expense fund, revenues beginning balance, $490,859.80. Total month deposit, month-to-date, $36,933.95. Year-to-date, $527,793.77. Expenditures beginning balance, $475,275.88. Total expenditures for the month-to-date, $39,000.12. Year-to-date, $514,276. Net result for the year, year-to-date, $13,570.77. Unobligated fund balance, year-to-date, $276,523.77.
Are there questions?
Yes, I had a question
Go ahead, Ms. K. Robbins.
on current expenses fund two, under expenditures, legal for auditors. It's under legal. It's auditors, $9,267.21.
Have a question. I would have to check with.
What's your question? You kind of faded out just a little bit, Ms. K. Robinson. What'd
Oh,
you
I'm
say?
sorry. I had a question regarding Fund Two under expenditures that state auditors. We spent $9,227.70. I think it's 71 cents.
926721.
Yes.
Okay, what's your question?
I was wondering what was that expense for regarding auditors for
Okay.
for the month of June? Are we in an audit? Are we going through an audit, or had we paid for an audit?
Did you hear that, Ms. Ford?
Yes, I will have to check with Matilda and let you know, let her know.
Okay.
But it looks like it was paid month to date expense.
Mhm.
It looked like it may have been expenses that were paid.
Okay,
Okay.
and I just have one question, Ms. Ford. I see it in the red. And I know I said it before, it's color coded, but is that a plus?
Child
Or is that
nutrition,
a Child nutrition, is that a plus or a minus?
she did include a note that was due to a credit on an invoice, so that's a plus.
Okay,
That's a
so
credit
that's a
plus.
plus.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Any other questions? All right. If not, thank you so much. All right, now we are at D.
Okay, amendments.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. The finance office is requesting approval of statements number 39 through 41, federal amendments number 17 through 22, and local amendment number 19.
Any questions on those amendments? All right, hearing none, motion would be in order to approve those amendments. Motion is in order to approve the amendments.
Let's go through it.
Okay. That's been motion and properly second to approve the stated amendments as it has been requested by the finance officer. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voice vote? Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who made the motion?
Mr. Williams, a motion, and Ms. Bird Robinson, second.
Thank you.
Certainly. Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Ms. Jenkins? Ms. K. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Hale? Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Bird Robinson? No, these sites, aye. Let the record reflect unanimous vote. All right. You gonna handle E2?
Yes, yes. Okay. Finance office is also requesting approval of the interim budget until the final budget is received and processed.
Any questions?
I just have a request, Reverend Sykes.
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead, Ms. K. Robinson.
Ms. Board, my request to Ms. Campbell is that when we have the finalized budget, that we have it per line item and not as a whole like it is tonight.
Okay,
Mhm. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
And this is just a, if I can say this, board members, this is, I think we've had this time passed before. This is just something to get us started, July 1. We're going to get something more concrete and more definitive. We should have it next month. I would think we would have it next month. So this again is just to get us started. When July 1 comes, we won't be left not having something to give us some type of financial direction. Yeah, where Dr. Collins just said pay bills with. Right. All right. Any other questions or comments concerning the interim budget? Hearing none, a motion would be in order to approve the interim budget.
I move that we approve the interim budget.
has been motioned by Ms. K. Robinson and seconded by Ms. Jenkins that we approve our interim budget. You heard that motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voice vote? Ms. Hale?
Aye.
Ms. K. Robinson?
Aye.
Ms. Harrison?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Jenkins? Kurt Robinson? O.D. Sykes, aye. Let the record reflect unanimous approval of the interim budget. All right, school health, I thought I saw, okay, all right.
Good evening, Board Chair, Board members, Dr. Congleton, Dr. Myrick. I am here just, oh, sorry. Thank you. So just going to reiterate the information that was brought forth on last meeting as far as our 2021-2022 as well as our summer initiative that we are doing for school health in alignment with the new executive order and our Strong Schools Toolkit. So at this point, students and staff must disclose and stay home if they are sick or have exhibiting COVID-19 symptoms, they have tested positive or have had a close contact. Face coverings are still required indoors at all times, and frequent and routine cleaning procedures are necessary to mitigate the spread of disease. And our staff are currently doing that now in all of our schools during the summer programming. And so just to give also some updates far as the information that has been shared previously, as far as how schools, which is a recommendation, and the board would need to make a decision on next month on how to officially reopen once more guidance does come out. But at this point, the recommendation that is available, not only from the state and other entities that we have been meeting with, is to recommend open on a 5-day week and continue the guidance that is outlined in our Strong Safe School Toolkit and the NC Light in our way forward, unless otherwise noted. And that is the end of the health report.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Ms. K. Robinson.
Snipes, do you know of any places in Weldon or Halifax County where parents may be able to get their children vaccinated for COVID-19? Are we providing something for parents for our school system, or what are we doing?
So at this point, we haven't sent out any updated communication as we have not received any new updates. But at this point, the vaccine is readily available, and anybody can make an appointment at their local health department, at CVS, Walgreens, any of those particular locations and this is now available for both students 12 and up. So any student that is age 12 and older is eligible for the vaccine, and it's readily available.
Thank you, Ms. Snipes.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you so much, Ms. Snipes.
Thank you.
All right, we're going now to our building and grounds report. Term.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to see everybody tonight. First thing on the agenda is going to be the gate for Weldon Elementary. It's been broke. We finally got stuff put in place to get it replaced. It'll probably be a week after next when they get it all redone. Basically, at the high school gym, we got all new coils will be here Friday to change that to locks to make it more secure than what it has been. And that should take care of everything as far as the keys. There will be 5 keys cut, and the principal will make a decision where they will go to. And thanks to Mr. Rob Malone, he's reached out to me, found me some architects to do these jobs we're getting ready to get into. I've talked to 4 already and talked to 1 tomorrow. We're going to do walk-arounds next week to try to find out an architect that's going to do the work for us. But he has really sent some nice folks so that I can understand what's going on. They understand what I need to. So we're going to pick somebody that's gonna do the job that needs to be done this time the way it should be done. And I talked to Dr. Conklin about how I want to try to get it done. He knows what I'm trying to do. And basically, we need to figure out what we're gonna do this time and be done the right way. And I think the folks that he's interviewed that will be what we're gonna need to find. So, and I thank you again, sir. Surely do. Dr. Conklin, thank you. It's been a wonderful time. Mr. Merrick, Dr. Merrick, I'll be glad to work with you in this time. I'll be glad, looking forward to see you too. And thank all y'all for what you do for us. And it's been a tough year, but we're getting through it. Any questions?
Any questions for Turner? Go ahead, Regina.
Yes, ma'am.
With Mr. Daniel, is it someone helping him somewhere?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Boone, he's working 24 hours a week. And he's working 6 hours a day, Monday through Thursday. And he's helping him 6 hours a day. So yes, ma'am. Started last week.
Okay, so where, once before, I know I had mentioned to, I don't think he was here. Mr. Booth, I think, about, I don't know what it is it round up or what you spray to keep it?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We're getting ready to do it again. We've done it 3 times already, believe it or not, but the rain's caught it back up again. We're getting ready to do it again next week. But we have sprayed everywhere twice, and believe it or not, it actually has killed it. Now it's coming back again because of the rain. It only lasts probably about 30 days because we can't use the strong stuff. It's illegal. Some stuff can last for a year, but it leaches. And if with the rain on it, it could actually kill somebody else's stuff like 2 blocks over. So, we had that issue probably about 15 years ago on the football field. We killed our neighbor's garden, so we can't use that kind of stuff anymore. It's just basic Roundup.
When y'all spray it, do you spray it all outside the fence?
Yes, ma'am. We sprayed the fence, the parking lots, and we do every location. We use the back of the pickup truck. We put the spray in the back of it, and we actually spray out of the back of the pickup truck. We have no way to use it unless it's plugged up to the truck. So it makes it a whole lot simpler for everybody. And we still get our folks spraying at the schools individually. They spraying the spots that we can't get to. But right now, the parking lot at the high school, we really need to figure what we're going to do about doing that parking lot in the next couple of years. And I hate to bring this up, but if we get a remodel, we'd go another direction with that. But we need to start considering stuff that's not going to get fixed in the next 3 or 4 years. We need to go and start doing some work to this stuff to get it repaired. The cracks are getting worse. And since you brought this up, I know y'all don't want me to shut up, but middle school, we need to do something about the middle school's parking lots too. They've not been sealed in 21 years. Nothing's been done to that since I've been to work here. And I don't know if y'all noticed or not, the growth around the actual storm drains, they have been cut in 20 years. We need to start figuring a way to get that done too. And one other thing is Ms. Knight's talked about cutting the pathway from the elementary to the social service. Well, we got a sewer line that runs through that runs the social service. Well, that ain't been cut in 21 years either. So guess what? Roots are growing into that system. So we need to get something done that, but we can actually do that and make that walkway. In case of an emergency, they can walk through there to get to social service. Now, I've had a guy come look at it probably over 6 months ago. He gave me around about figure, probably about $26,000 to do a basic. And that's just putting gravel down. It's not no asphalt, no concrete, no nothing. But if you walk through there, when you get to social service, 30 foot before you get there is an incline. I mean, a direct incline there. That would be the issue to get that incline out so we could walk up it. And it'd be a safety issue if we could get this done. So, but that's just something we need to look at and get quotes and prices on.
You done with me? You had a follow? Okay. Anybody else have a question? Mr. Turner, you mentioned about that walkway, and I heard you say something about the other repairs on the schools, and I heard you reference Attorney Malone concerning those. Have all of those quotes, have they been bidded out?
No, sir. But we're doing that. We're getting an architect involved. I talked to Mr. Malone, and we're trying to make sure we go by the guidelines of the law. What the state tells us to do for us is bidding we got to do. We got to have an architect involved because it's over $100,000 on all these jobs. And then you've heard me run after many times how it's going to cost. And I talked to Terry, and it's like we got money to do all 3 locations. So, it's going to be a project probably based over a year and a half to 2 years to get it all done. What's going to get done? Because if we can repair everything is there, you're looking, the cheapest one is going to be the elementary for us, what's going on, because this stuff's only 5 years old. I still got to have 6 units here replaced completely because they weren't done the last time. Middle school's got to be totally replaced. That'd be both chillers, the boiler, the air handlers, the piping, everything. So you're looking at over $1 million just for that. High school is gonna be over $1 million. So we got 57 rooftop units. And I'm figuring the gym in now, which I didn't have any heat on there last year. So we're gonna have to get this gym done to solve this problem for next year. So we need to figure that's gonna be one of the priorities. And I'm gonna talk about that too when we get the architect involved. That's got to be done first, really. We can still work around because stuff's still working, but the gym has nothing, no heat. Those pumps burn up right before this stuff happened. We didn't fix anything. To fix that, we're talking about $30,000 or $40,000 just for a basic fix. We don't need to spend that money. We need to spend to get it repaired and get it done like it ought to be. Plus, this is going to give us air conditioning.
I'm just concerned when we, because I heard you reference before, some people that did
Yes.
work and it didn't,
Yes.
hold up, didn't last.
Yes.
And I hope that, we really have the opportunity to
And I really feel
bid
like,
everything out
Yes.
and to make sure that we have
yes,
reputable
yes.
and quality people coming here.
You
So
asked-
the work will be sustained.
And the folks that Rob he sent to me just the first few minutes when I got that vibe from them. Now I'm gonna give you a quick example. When we done the gym at the high school and we done the locker room, the architect left out the coaches' offices. And if you'd read the contract, that's a part of the locker room. Why would you leave the coach's office out? Well, I didn't sign that contract, so I'm not gonna bring it up tonight. I can tell you later, but that is a part of the locker room. Those rooms didn't get remodeled. We done something in-house ourselves. The old ones are still in those 2 rooms. To me, that was a big issue to me at that time, but I had no say so in it. But
And it's just simple things like that you're
yes,
saying.
yes. I mean, that didn't make any
Because
sense
if
to
it's
me.
in
Why would you
contract,
leave that
that's
out?
what I'm taking care of.
Yes. And then here, when we remodeled here, they left the construction part of taking the old units down. We had to do it. We don't have any equipment. I had to rent that stuff to do it. And we only had 3 guys then. And some of that stuff was way too much for us to try, but we did it anyway. It was like a $35,000 savings and we done it in-house. But to me, if they're going to do that job, they should have done that. They had to replace the unit. They should have took the old unit out, not us. But we took 4 of those out. It really bothers me, and that gets overlooked. And I feel like the folks he's got me with, he knows what I'm talking. We talked, and I'm going to talk to him a lot more. We'll be in contact for what's going on. He'll make sure I'll go in the right direction too, because he's going to give me reputable people. And that's what I'm looking for. Because y'all going to be looking to me if it ain't done right. So.
And certainly won't say to you.
Well, it's pretty
Yes.
clear you're looking at him if he's not happy. If it's good, you look at me.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Just want to make sure all individuals that's.
Yes, and I'm gonna make sure I look, because if I start seeing it, when I found out they didn't do those 2 rooms at the gym that time, I was upset. But
I'm saying, especially when we talking about our grants and all.
yes, I want, and we're gonna make sure that's done in the proper manner too, because he's gonna make sure I do the way it's supposed to under the guidelines.
I got you.
Yep.
This is what I'm saying. Make sure that everybody.
Yes.
is supposed to be involved.
Yes.
Especially if it's grant funded. Make
Yes.
sure that everybody's. Just.
Yes,
everything
yes,
covered.
yes. And I'll let Terry know what's going on from point A to point B too, because she needs to know. She's the one that's gonna be responsible for what's going on with that
You
too.
understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, I don't know. I do not.
Somebody else that-
I don't, yeah, I want it to be done right, and it should be done right. Our kids deserve something done right, so.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all,
Appreciate
too.
it. Y'all have any questions? Ms. K. Robinson, you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right.
Thank y'all.
You were trying to say anything.
Thank
Thank you so much.
And one more thing. My retirees, I miss every one of y'all. I really do. Dr. Congan, thank you. Looking forward to working with you. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Stern. All right, our instructional report. I think we're gonna have Mrs. Martin.
Okay. Good evening, board chair, board members, Dr. Congleton, Dr. Maverick, the retirees, of course, and our entire Charger family in person and who are joining us virtually. So we're gonna start with a little bit of good news. Okay, earlier the graduates were referenced, so I want to highlight these 2 young men. They are graduates from Weldon STEM High School Career Academies, 2021 graduates, and they are working with Mr. Redmond and Mr. Williams as technicians. So what they're doing at the high school is removing old equipment and replacing that equipment with updated equipment, and they're cataloging electronic devices. So we're happy that they're acquiring those skills, and hopefully they'll be able to find some permanent employment along these lines. Okay, this is just a list of our current members. And as far as testing and accountability goes, we had our re-administration on the the 14th through the 17th. So Ms. Akila Robinson is working on getting those numbers. I think that report is due on July the 6th. So we don't know exactly where we stand until all of that is submitted. And also we're still waiting for our reading and North Carolina Extend 1 biology and science scores. We did administer the pre-test via ClassWorks for our summer extension learning program, and our post-test will be administered July 19th through the 22nd. So this data is being used for diagnostic purposes and also to measure the effectiveness of the summer extension learning programs. Let's see. Okay, again, just to reiterate, these are our dates. Of course, we started on the 7th. The last Friday is actually this Friday, so we won't have any school on the Fridays in July, and our end date is July 22nd. The staff hours are the same, and I'm going to mention one little change. It says students 8:30 to 1 p.m. However, and this is Ms. Garner's section, but she had one thing that she adjusted, so she told me to just say it on her behalf. You'll notice that the breakfast time has been adjusted to 8 o'clock because some parents were needing to drop the kids off a little bit earlier. So most of the students are arriving around 8:10, just to give the parents a little flexibility. So she did get the adjusted breakfast time. So now it's from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., but everything else is the same. And this is our Cte Boot Camp. This is just a little bit of what students are doing, learning by doing. I got most of these pictures from Miss Davis or the actual teachers. So in Miss B's class, they've been preparing some global cuisine. I think there's some curry chicken and fufu. In Dr. Austin's class, as well as Mr. Burt's, they're making essential oils, body scrubs, and soaps. They're also making a business plan and creating business cards. If you sit in middle school, we have Mr. Kevin Jones, and the students are building robots, and the students are also with Ms. V getting the Serve Safe certification, and they're doing proof of learning in any CTE area that they need it done. So our students are doing some awesome things. Okay, and now Ms. Mikes with the Exceptional Children and Preschool updates. Okay.
Good evening again. So as far as the updates for Exceptional Children and Preschool, both IDA grants and the behavior grants have been submitted and currently awaiting approval. And we had our first annual transition to kindergarten program. And so I would like to congratulate the staff, the students that participated in that program. It was a 2-week program from, it ended last week. And then I also wanted to highlight the progress that has been made on the preschool playground area. That was a grant that we received through Cte, and actually Cte is funding and taking care of all of the design and all of those pieces, but just wanted to highlight that as well. As far as the school mental health plan update, that is readily accessible and available and will be submitted by the due date, which is July 1. And the school health department will be submitting some future things in the future as far as recommendations for some policies and different things that are needed as we move forward this particular school year and years to come. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. With respect to board chair, board members, Superintendent Congleton and future Superintendent Myrick, I'm here on behalf of the Federal Programs Department. And as Ms. Martin said, I want to start off with some great news as well. We have 6 teachers in our district that are participating, and I can only give just a little bit of the information because we've signed non-disclosures. But I kind of felt like this was a good time to kind of share something great that we're doing here in the district. We have 6 teachers that are participating in a Google initiative. I'm going to say it that way. Through the summer that will participate, that are working with our summer program. And it's through our partnership with Cte Education. They're based out of Durham. It's a Durham technical company that has kind of adopted Weldon City Schools with the relationship that we've received. So just kind of wanted everybody to know that we have those. So you may hear it in the community because the parents had to sign a non-disclosure. The teachers had to sign. Myself had to sign, anybody that was involved, but with that is, and we have to use Google Chrome. But with this, the benefit to the district will be, once this product is complete, Weldon City Schools will not have to pay for the product. We will receive the product for free. So I thought that would be some great news to share this evening. And also, our 21st Century Community Learning Center, we kicked off yesterday with our staff and today with students. And our site coordinator, Ms. Jamira Davis, I talked with her this afternoon because we've been kind of just tapping. Everything was very successful today. We only had 25 students in attendance, but by the end of the day, we have 60 students enrolled. Not where we wanted, but we're continuing to recruit. As I was sitting there, I received texts from 2 parents stating that their children have come home, they're talking, they're enjoying it. So that was, to me, the successful part. But we've chosen our site as Weldon STEM High School. We have transportation that brings the students from the middle school and the elementary school there. We're providing snacks through our child nutrition department. At 2:30, once they're transitioning, they'll get snacks. Our activities thus far is dance, sports camp, and the sports camp is consistent of the cheerleading, our flag football, basketball. They're just having a ball with sports, karate, STEM, and social emotional pieces. So with that, so far today, as I was over there this morning, they start with reading. I took some pictures, but unfortunately with my iPhone, Mr. Redmond had to help me even get this one up. But that was our students that were cooking this morning. They were 2 elementary students there this morning. But also the reading portion, it was very neat, interesting to go into the classroom to see the high school students in a huddle actually reading. But they have scholastic kits that they will take home with them at the end of the summer. They will be their books to keep. So that is what I'm sharing on behalf of 21st Century. And also I've shared all of the information early as well.
This is the end of the presentation, right?
Of this one, yes, sir.
Are we going into another part?
No, sir, this is all I have for.
Board members, do you have any questions for Ms. Martin, Mrs. Austin, Mrs. Martin, Mrs. Austin, or Ms. Knight? All 3 of them participated in that, so I know if you may have a question, we can kind of save them to the end so you can get to your presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on, Ms. K. Robinson.
Okay.
As far as for the students that are enrolled in the summer program, they are eligible to attend the community learning center.
Yes, we encourage them. Yes, ma'am. They can ride the bus at 1 over to the high school. Today, there was 15 students that rode the bus. So hopefully those numbers will increase as well. But we have the majority of them were elementary schools. It was only 5 students from the middle school that came over. So when they come over at 1, they go directly into the afternoon activities, karate and dance at this time. No, ma'am. Those are the ones that they'll flow into at 1 o'clock. Yes, ma'am. And then at 3 o'clock, they can go into dance, I'm sorry, the STEM, the social emotional piece, the sports camps, and all of the other camps that are offered. But with the staff members that are participating in a lot of those activities, they don't get off from the first program until 1:30. So we're utilizing our contracted individuals, and then we had an individual that had agreed to, that would be able to come in at 1 that has now is unable to come in. But so at 1 o'clock, we're ready for them when they get there as well to begin the process. So the contracted will be at 1. And then once the 1:30 is over and the second staff comes in, they are able to go to the basketball and all of those additional areas.
Follow up and say. Okay, Ms. Kay Robinson.
Sure.
I had a question for Ms. Snipes regarding pre-K.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Give her a moment to come back to the podium, to the microphone, so you can hear her. All right, she's there now.
Ms. Snipes, have we filled all our slots for pre-K as of now?
No, we have not. Enrollment is still happening. So individuals can still complete applications either online or come to the elementary school or pick up an application at central office, and all other school sites also have them available.
So how many students do we have as of right now?
Right now, we have 20 students out of the, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go on. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have 20 students out of the 36 in which we can house.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Right. If not, thank you, ladies, for that combined report. I'll say it in that respect. All right. Update on the Eso Grants. Do that. Oh, is Austin is coming back.
Okay, so I've shared the actual grant information and budgets and approval letters. Our ESSA 2, we received notification on Friday, June 4th, the promised date that they've been giving us. We received our funding as well as approval. As Mr. Turner has shared, hit the ground running with saying, okay, these are the items that, making sure that everyone knows what we've received and what are some of the things that we will be taking care of. So as we've shared, ESSA 2 has basically been set aside for our maintenance of our buildings, the air quality control, as well as the air conditioning in our data closets to protect our technology. Also, the Weldon Elementary School will receive a canopy for the students to walk in and out. We set a tent up when they were coming back to school, and I'm told that tent just blew right away. So we're gonna get a permanent canopy. We looked at all of these needs, and so a permanent canopy has been allotted for these funds and approved in the grant. Also, we put health supplies and materials in ESSA 2, which will cover the PPEs or anything that we need that will assist with the supplies here at all the schools district-wide. And as you can see, I've also shared the indirect costs with each one of the grants the district will receive indirect costs. So then we, ESSA 2 is what I just finished. And we also received ESSA 3 at the same time. Both of them were approved. Again, June 4th, thanks to your leadership, the finance department's dedication, we received our supplemental pay on June 15th. That came from ESSA 3. Now we have staff members. Each school will receive part-time interventionists that will come in to assist with the social emotional or any avenue to assist students with growing academically. So we have those part-time positions at the schools. We also have 3 full-time specialized instructional support individuals. Those will be 1 per school, the elementary, 1 for middle, and then the high schools will share. It has also supported the summer school, summer program, transportation. We've also included 2 maintenance staff members, the executive director of administrative services, and we will be getting some vehicles for the district. Vehicles that will kind of be a little, better service than what we have at this time, to aid in transporting items to the schools, teachers doing professional development. And a fun part is outdoor learning equipment. We will have here at the elementary school, the middle school and high school shelters where, of course, if another pandemic come in the classroom, students can go outside of the classroom in areas where the teachers can provide instruction. And technology. Our technology director has really created a long list of items that the district needed. So we set aside some funding for technology. The custodial and housekeeping supplies, as well as additional upgrades in our buildings, such as touchless commodes, the hand faucets where they can wash their hands, lawnmowers, weed eaters, and we're going to also do the whole set to make sure each one of the schools have the set. Garage doors for our back office at the central office, the garage doors that needs to be replaced. But most importantly, instructional supplies. And we've set instructional supplies for each department, AIG, pre-K. We're making sure that there is not one department that is in Weldon City Schools that will not be impacted by the ESSA 3 funding. On behalf of parent engagement, we put in marquee signs to go in front of the schools that will be able to provide information as to what's happening in the schools, and a great way to communicate with our community. So, and that initiative has started as well. I think there's a leak somewhere because now we're getting all of these advertisements for marquees and everything else that was in our plan. We have a lot of vendors that are reaching out. So we're looking at those as well. And also, again, I have included the indirect costs that the district will receive from the ESSA 3 funds as well.
Austin or either Dr. Thomas, one of the two of you, I know the amount, but just so our stakeholders can know the type of financial benefit that is coming our way to assist us in doing these things, I think it's noteworthy that the community knows and our stakeholders know what will come that will have a benefit and impact upon Weldon City Schools over the next, what is it, 3 years, 4 years, 3 years?
3 years.
4 or 5?
2024. I put the awards letter in your notebooks, but it's 20. Make sure I don't want to give any incorrect dates here. 2023 is for ESSA 2. So 2024 will be for ESSA 3. And so we're looking at, I don't want to give anything wrong. So, and again, it has changed. So the total amount awarded was, that's not right either. We're looking at about $5 million is what we're going to be working with. That's an estimate.
That's 3.
Yes, ESSA 3, and at 2 point, and then we have 2 and 2.5 in ESSA 2.
Right.
It's about $8 million.
Altogether,
About
it's close to 8.2 million.
8.2 million. Yes, you're correct. Yes, sir.
And I only point that out. We have it, yes, but our stakeholders.
Yes.
I wanted them to hear that. So when they, hear about the things that we're trying to do in Weldon, and people start saying, where did Weldon get all of that money? And not that it came to us in this report. So I just wanted the community to know that we're trying to do something positive and innovative with the funds that have been given to us, because they do have an end.
And the application, we've just today, it will be posted. All of the applications will be posted on the website. Mr. Redmond and I put the ESSER, so right now the link is ESSER, but I'm developing a feedback form. We are required by the federal government to have feedback, whereas our community stakeholders can provide feedback. So, and we had 30 days after we received the funds in order to get that up and going. So we've begun the process on that. So if you go to the website right now, under federal programs, you'll see ESSER, but we're in the process of uploading the information.
questions?
So please do give us feedback on the applications once they go up.
Any questions, board members? Ms. K. Robinson, you have a comment or question online?
No, I do not.
All right, okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Dawson. All right, we're ready now for number 6, presentation. Recognition of our retirees from our district.
Yes, sir. If you will.
Yeah, all right.
First of all, let me offer my congratulations collectively to all of the retirees that we're gonna recognize tonight. And of course, we've also recognized you individually. But I cannot overstate how grateful we are for your service to Weldon City Schools, how much we appreciate you. We know that it's a tough job and you have to love it in order to do it well and to stay in it for a long period of time. So we want to thank you for your services to Weldon City Schools. The first person we want to recognize is Ms. Charlene Boyette. Ms. Charlene Boyette is an instructional assistant at Weldon Elementary Global Academy. Is she here today? If not, we will certainly make sure that she receives her plaque. She has 6 years and 8 months of service from September 2012 to August of 2020, and she will receive a mantle clock. And if you will read the presentation, we won't do each one, but just
All right. Because Dr. Congleton is going to call all of the names, so I'm just going to say presented to said name for 7 years of dedicated service to the students of Weldon City Schools, and the dates have already been aforementioned. Of course, presented this day on June the 22nd, 2021, and I will say the name is Charlene Boyette. Just so we can have that special recognition and call her by her name.
absolutely. Thank you. Next is Ms. Teresa Miles. Is Ms. Miles here? Ms. Miles is a pre-K teacher at Weldon Elementary Global Academy. She has 14 years and 5 months of service from August 2006 to January 2021. And she will receive the Apple plaque. Yeah, hold it up so everybody can see. They're so pretty.
This is to Ms. Teresa Miles, and of course the verbiage is the same, just different name and different years of service presented on this 22nd day of June 2021. No one in city received it for her.
Right, correct. All right, next is Mrs. Dorothy Lynch. Is Ms. Lynch here? All right. Mrs. Dorothy Lynch, history teacher.
Come right on around here so you can stand real close as he reads this.
History teacher at Weldon High School, 19 years and 1 month from February 2000. Yeah, give her a hand. That's to July 2021. And she's wearing one of my favorite t-shirts today.
Yeah.
Good enough is not good enough for Weldon City Schools.
All right. We present this to Mrs. Dorothy Lynch. As it has been forestated, 19 years and everything else is the same. And we thank you so much, Mrs. Lynch, for your service to Weldon City School. Enjoy your retirement. Get busy doing something else.
Congratulations to you.
All right. Congratulations.
Next, we have Ms. Pamela Perry. I know she's here. Media specialist from Weldon Middle School. Ms. Perry and I and some others go way back.
Yeah.
She helped me open up Weldon Middle School.
Yes, I did.
30 years of service, November 1990 to November 2020. Ms. Perry, congratulations.
Thank you.
Right. Ms. Perry, present this to you. Thank you for your years of service to Weldon City Schools, and everything else is the same, but we're saying 30 years rather than the previous years. All right. Congratulations. Happy
Thank you.
retirement. All right.
Next, we have Miss Kathleen Thomason, better known as Miss Kitty. Miss Kitty is an administrative assistant, or has been an administrative assistant to many superintendents and board clerks at the Weldon Central Services. She has 30 years of service from October 1991 to June 2021. She's taking a minute, so I'm going to actually.
We gonna walk over there. We
Yes,
gonna
sir.
walk together. So she can stand up, get up. Come on, come on, come on.
We can dispense with this pen.
Come on up. Present this to you for your years of service. Of course, we say congratulations to Miss Kitty and Dr. Thompson has said for 30 years of service to Weldon City Schools.
Absolutely. And last but not least, Ms. Carla Ponton Farrell, affectionately known as Pat. We go back to Ms. Pat. Restorative, yes, indeed. Restorative justice facilitator, teacher, cheerleader coach, Weldon Elementary and Weldon City Schools, 31 years and 5 months, June 1989 to October 2020. So she helped me cut my teeth in Weldon as well.
We presented, let me say like I've known it, Miss Pat. We present this to Miss Pat for 31 years. She's our senior statesperson tonight, 31 years. of service to Weldon City Schools, and all of the verbiage is the same, except this is Miss Pat and 31 years of service. So we present this to you. All right, all right.
Thank you.
All right.
And we're gonna ask all of the recipients to come up right quickly for a group picture. Maybe. Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
This is all ladies who y'all in the building. I can miss that. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Y'all stay still, yeah.
If y'all will stand. I just wanted to add that up real quick. That's a total of 131 years in Weldon City Schools. All right. Thank you all so much again for your service. Board members, do we need a break or everybody want to keep rolling? Keep rolling? All right, we're gonna keep moving these. All right. We're at number 8, public comment. Do we have any public comment?
Ms. Regina Brooks.
Excuse me?
No, not.
What'd you say? Ms.? Oh, yeah, no, yeah. All right. Mr. Turner, you can see if she's out there. All right.
He is, he's talking about time.
Like we got our 2-minute break in.
I can believe that. Yeah, no, he did a lot of work here. Kid's a great guy. He really is. This one.
Are y'all all right? We're going with the other parts of number 8, and then we can just, okay, all right, let's move on. We'll go to 8A and we'll come back real quick. Okay, we'll go on to 8A and come back real quick. Transition of superintendent that Mr. Williams brought up.
With that, this is more or less kind of direct to Dr. Conklin. Dr. Conklin, just want to know with the transition to Dr. Maverick, has everything been done? All the papers that maybe need to be signed, that he's aware that needs to be signed, just so that that transition can be smooth. I know he's been coming in, but I just want to kind of make sure that the transition is smooth and everything is set so that he can move right in and he don't have to worry about some other little thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, signing the checks and all of that.
Yes, sir. I'm glad you brought it up, but we are working as collaboratively as we possibly can and as diligently as we possibly can. Obviously, there's certain things that can't take place until he actually assumes the role. But Dr. Myrick and I are in constant communication, you know, almost on a daily basis through all forms of media, from telephones to texts and everything else. So he knows that if there's anything that I can assist him with, or the school system, we're willing to do that. And so to the extent that we can, and to the extent that the law allows, we're doing everything that we can, you know, to make the transition as smooth as possible, because we all want to see him succeed. We think you've done a great job in selecting him, and we want to provide that support. And if Dr. Myrick, if you feel any differently, please say so.
He gave a thumbs up. And with that, and I'm glad you wanted to add that, Mr. Williams, to our agenda tonight, not only the transition in that respect, but I hope that this board, as our new superintendent transitions in, that we can set up something, not July, but maybe August, when, you know, the students come back into schools, that we can set up some type of floating reception. So, you know, our stakeholders and people in the community, you know, can just float in and say hello, know who the new superintendent is, and they can give their name, you know, things of that nature, and, you know, really add to him coming in. So that's something that, you know, we'll coordinate and we'll work on, you know, with Dr. Myrick and the board to try to get some, dates and all set up. I mean, I know we're in somewhat different times now and people won't be really sitting down a whole lot, possibly eating and all, but we'll have something, floating so we could do that as a, kind gesture, just so everybody can know within the district who our superintendent is and put a name and a face together. So I hope that we can look forward to that as well. All right. And we'll go on to B real quick.
Okay, I had a question with B. I received a reimbursement check today. And I noticed Dr. Compton as superintendent or interim superintendent, your name was not up there. And I was wondering why it's interim superintendent, because all other checks I had received had the superintendent and the finance officer up there. So I just wanted to know why that wasn't there or in a particular reason.
I can answer that.
Okay.
Mrs. Campbell, the finance officer, when everything changed, the hands, with election and all last year, because we didn't have a superintendent, the chair's name was put on the checks as an authorized signer because we didn't have, superintendent. So everything would continue to go on. And same thing with Mrs. Campbell called me. She said because that's what she had to do for everything to go, the chairperson, and not saying me, but the chairperson, whoever that is, doesn't have to be me, was on, the checks to sign that. And she asked me, did, I want to revert back to Dr. Congleton's name. I said, it's no need to do that because you're gonna have the same issue, because Dr. Congleton is on an interim basis, it's gonna be the same thing, you're gonna have to do that. So that's why that was done. And it's been like that ever since, not November, December of last year. That's why the chair's name, it was either December or January. I think that's when it was. Do you remember, Miss Kitty?
I remember when it was done, I just had never known it to be.
Yeah,
done
let's
before.
talk before we do that again. If it's not gonna be the superintendent, then we need to notify the state controller, and lots of stuff has to go in place to have somebody other than the superintendent sign the check. So it should be the interim during the time there's an interim, but then when the new person comes in, you change it to the new person. Yeah, it's a little quirky, but that's the way it's supposed to happen. So when we have hopefully we won't have another transition.
Yeah.
But if we were to have another transition, let's make sure we talk before we do that again.
And again,
I know it wasn't your decision. I understand.
Yeah,
I'm just
I was
saying
only
before we-
responding
Right.
because, the former chairperson was no longer, and you know what we were going through.
I do,
So when
I do.
the finance officer called me and, I said, we're getting ready to have something to transition out
Right.
again, and we didn't know how long. So that's why that.
Yeah, there are very specific rules within the statute. So if that is to come up again and you or someone else is the chair, if you'll reach out to the law firm, we can make sure we get that cleaned up correctly.
Oh, sure. I have no problem. I thought it was all in line.
It's an easy mistake to make,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Okay.
not a problem.
Okay, I understand, but I just thought that when he became the interim superintendent, then I was more or less looking for his signature on the check. And I don't know about the other part, because it goes in order. I don't know, look at the order. I look at my bank statement. But I just thought that he should have been up there as interim superintendent.
But that's.
Well, let me feed in, let me say in connection with that. So henceforth in July, Dr. Merritt's name will be up there and Ms. Campbell.
I guess so.
That's what's supposed to be
As
on
the
it.
law
Yes,
says.
yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm finished.
We don't have no other questions come anybody with 8A or 8B, right? All right. See, Ms. Brooks is back. Ms. Brooks, Dr. Congleton said that you had signed up for public comment, but you had stepped out at the time. So if you're ready now, we are ready. Mrs. Brooks, we thank you for coming this evening. Have your comments. You know, we have 3 minutes. So, you're ready. We ask that, you know, oh, you said on the lawn. Okay, all right. So,
Good evening to all. What an awesome night. Tonight, I would like to begin by addressing some of your wonderful comments in the past, especially last month. I would like to remind you, one thing you can't recycle, that is wasted time. You wasted time and plenty of money alone. You voted on hiring a firm to assist you to bring in a new superintendent. You said you wanted a nationwide search, only that the search ended up in Granville County. You said collectively that you had the most qualified candidate, only to learn that collectively you were each my Judas. You see, your kiss revealed that my name was probably the first to be removed because I am most definitely highly qualified, a highly qualified faith-based practicing African-American professional who can walk the walk and talk the talk. And you have a good alpha man. Well, my reference, Dr. Kenneth Hammond, is one of the most impeccable alpha men I know. And he would not allow his name to be used unless he was 100% sure of the person that he was recommending. Geneva Branch, a 93-year-old retired educator who worked in this system, who is mentally capable, would not have put her name. And her husband worked here also. As a matter of fact, on my father's deathbed, she promised him that she would be my godmother. Not only that, Mrs. Strayhorn, charter member, the founder of Charms, Miss Jacobs, a charter member, assured me that I was highly qualified for any and everything that I was about to do because I did a wonderful job in Charms and I've been just a wonderful person here in Weldon. Now, you need to really consider what you're doing. I certainly hope that you will collectively work so that all children in Weldon will get the experience of a first-class education. I talked to an 8th grader about his graduation. I asked him, are you going to the early college? He said, no, I'm not going to college. I said, the early college. No one has told you in the 8th grade about the early college? He said, no, I don't want to go to college. Are you going to summer school? No, but you're playing sports. Wouldn't you like to advance so that when you get to the 9th grade, you'll be ready? And you haven't been told about the early college in 8th grade? Wouldn't you have liked to have been the speaker? No, because somebody already asked, well, wouldn't you have liked to have been? We have to do better. My youngest brother, who is retired Lieutenant Colonel Wilbert Bryant, has a farm. I will invite you to a retreat on the farm. I guarantee you, when you leave, you will have a different perspective of the ethics and values for children. My oldest brother is a supervisor of a hemp farm. I don't think you're ready for that. But first, you have to work hard on the farm with labor, not slave labor, but labor that will give you values and ethics. I wish you well in 2001, 2002. As the Israelites, you have your king. Now make sure you give him 100% support. Thank you so much.
Moving on to our consent agenda. Any questions or comments on our consent agenda?
Most that consent agenda be approved.
It has been motioned and properly seconded that the consent agenda be approved. Motion by Mr. Williams and seconded by Ms. Harrison that we approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, would you let it be known by your voice vote? Ms. K. Robinson,
Aye.
Ms. Bird Robinson, Ms. Hale, Ms. Jenkins, Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Harrison,
Yes.
and O.D. Sykes. That the record reflect approval of the consent agenda was unanimous. All right. 10. Number 10, we will go into closed session. So at this time, we are going to get ready to go back into closed session as we stated when we approved our agenda for the meeting. Of course, we will kindly ask that the public, if you will excuse yourself at this time. We are not finished. We are not finished. But we need to go back into closed session. We're coming back into open session to close the meeting out. So don't think this is the end. You're welcome to stay until we're finished and can come back when we go back into open session. But right now we need to go back into closed. And we encourage you to come back into open session with us. But we need to go into closed session at this time.
You do need a motion though.
Oh, thank you. We do need to entertain a motion to go back into closed session. Thank you, Attorney Malone.
Make a motion to go to closed session, to discuss personnel matter.
Motion has been moved and properly second that we go back into closed session. You heard that motion. Is there any further discussion?
Are you keeping the cell number?
Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by your voice vote. Ms. Harrison,
Yeah, no,
Ms.
no,
Jenkins?
just change it here.
Sykes, aye. Ms. Hale, Ms. Williams, Ms. Bird Robinson, Ms. K. Robinson.
Aye.
All right, let the record reflect you now.